What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. We're doing a prediction video today for Rhyhorn / Rhydon. Rhyhorn is the Spikes Pokemon and Rhydon is the Drill Pokemon. Rhydon makes sense, Rhyhorn does not. But regardless of that, let's go over the moveset for this Pokemon and let's see how we're going to do in this playthrough. So, 80 HP, 85 attack, 95 defense, 30 special, 25 speed. So the attack, the HP, and defense are fantastic for a first stage Pokemon. The special and speed leaves a lot to be desired. The speed will be probably a really big hindrance for us in this playthrough in general, but definitely with this Pokemon. At level 42, we evolve into a Rhydon. Rhydon gets 105 HP, 130 attack, 120 defense, 45 special, and 40 speed. So we have 3 stats over 100, which is great. So we can take a lot of physical hits, we can attack pretty hard, and we have a lot of HP, so that coincides well. Special is kind of an issue because anything special is going to be very effective because our special is very low, which means our special defense is very low, and also our special attack's low, so we're not going to be able to hit hard. And also speed is 40, so a lot of things are going to outspeed us. And we have some moves that are actually, it doesn't make sense, but some moves are actually speed based, and we have some of those, and we don't even have good speed. So that being said, let's move on to the moveset. So this is a rock ground Pokemon. I'm gonna give everyone a second to look at this moveset and tell me what is wrong with this moveset. I'll give you a hint. It's kind of similar to what happened with Electrode and Voltorb, if you remember that playthrough. So I'll give you about 5 seconds. I'm gonna take a swig of my drink, and I want to comment down below what's wrong with this moveset. Please do, or at least pause and do it. All right. So this is a rock ground Pokemon who does not learn one rock ground move via level up. We start the game with Horn Attack, a 65 base power, 100% accurate move. It's honestly not a bad move to start the game with. It's pretty solid. Most things are going to be 2-shot. The only problem is Brock is a rock gym leader, so it's not going to be that effective. But I'll get more into that later. So between level 5 and 30, we only get one. We don't get any other moves other than we only have Horn Attack, and then we get level 30, we get Stomp. 65 base power, 100% accurate. It's the same as Horn Attack. What it does, if you go first, which doesn't happen often because we're slow, but if you go first, you do have the chance of making the opposition flinch. So that's pretty good if we go first, but we don't go first very often. Tail Whip is useless. We're not gonna. It's not useless, but it's useless when we're gonna get it. If we had this at like level 10, it'd definitely help with Brock because it'd lower Brock's defense and it would mitigate bide game. It drops your defense by a stage. Fury Attack is a garbage move. It's 15 base power, 85% accurate. It doesn't hit hard at all, and when you get level 40, it doesn't make sense to get it. Horn Drill is a move that I'm going to explain because Horn Drill, Fissure, and Guillotine are all the same. It's a one-hit knockout automatically if you hit with it. However, it's only 30% accurate. It also will never hit a Pokemon unless it outspeeds. If it does not outspeed, it will not hit. It just won't do it. So if you don't go first and you're not outspeeding, you won't have a chance of hitting it ever. And then the accuracy is 30. There is one caveat to that. It does add to the accuracy for every level you're higher than the opposition. So if I'm level 50 and the opposition's level 40, our accuracy goes up to 40, not 30. It's a 10. It adds 10 to our accuracy. Still worthless because, like I said, we're not going to outspeed a lot of Pokemon, and it's a very low accuracy there. And if you're already 10 levels higher, why not use like Body Slam or Earthquake and use your others? Go off your stats and things like that. Don't go off a gimmick move like Horn Drill. Leer is pointless. This late in the game, it lowers the opposition's defense, but at this point, a lot of things have good special moves, so we don't give people a chance to knock us out and get like some kind of fluke knockout. We have to do Leer for every opposition, not like Leer and then everyone's covered. It doesn't work like that. And then Takedown is pointless, especially to have it this level, but it's a very pointless move. 90 base power, 85% accurate. I don't like using that move unless literally the Pokemon I'm working with has nothing that no other attacks at all. So let's move on to the TM moveset. So the TM moveset is very odd with this Pokemon, and you'll see what I mean here in a second. So this is Rhyhorn's TM moveset. We get Toxic. We don't need it. Horn Drill, I just went over that. It's pointless. Body Slam is great because it coincides and works very well with our high attack. Okay. Takedown and Double Edge, they have recoil. So Double Edge would be a little bit more powerful than Body Slam with our high attack, but the recoil damage is not worth it to me. So Body Slam is just more reliable. It can make the opposition paralyzed. It just works better. Rage is not going to be used. Thunderbolt would be great. Here's the problem with Thunderbolt, though. Thunderbolt actually works in conjunction with our special. So if we have a low special, it will be Thunderbolt is less effective. So for like some Pokemon, I'll give an example like Gyarados in this game. Gyarados is 4 times weak to Thunderbolt, and we probably wouldn't even one-shot it. Even though it's 4 times weak to Thunderbolt, and it's an electric move, it wouldn't one-shot it. I watched another YouTuber named Van Man. This is a long time ago when I watched this, but Thunderbolt would not one-shot, and he was like 10 level. He was like 6 levels higher, and it would not one-shot a Gyarados. And it's because this special is not very high. It definitely nerfs this move drastically. You want to be a better way to put it, not dramatically. Like, oh no, the move is no. It's drastically lowers this, nerfs this move. However, we do have another move we can use, and I'll get to that in a second. Thunder is I don't use it. It's low accuracy. I've never used it in a playthrough. I don't think I have, at least. Earthquake is a fantastic move. It's a stab move, 100 base power, but it's 150 with stab, 100% accurate. Fantastic move. This and Dig are like our 2 best moves by far. They both do the same thing. Just Dig takes 2 turns, whereas Earthquake takes 1. So here's the problem with Dig. If you use Dig, let's say you hit the Pokemon and you got like a one-shot coming, and the Pokemon's down to low health, you Dig, they could heal in that turn that you're underground, and then you come back up and hit them again. You might have to do it again because you don't knock them out. Earthquake skips over the needing to take 2 turns to do the same thing. Fissure, I've already went over that. Mimic will be useful because we do not have a legitimate badge boosting move, so Mimic will help us with that. Double Team is outlawed, so no point in talking about Double Team. Bide will be useful along with Horn Attack early. Once we start getting other moves, though, pretty much pointless. Fire Blast, I don't know how a Rock Rhinoceros can learn Fire Blast, but it can, just like I don't know how a pure Poison type Pokemon that's Weezing can learn Fire Blast. And I can go down a list. Fire Blast seems to be, they threw it on everyone's moveset after Pokemon 100 or whatever. Skull Bash is pointless. It actually wouldn't work too bad with our attack, but it's 2 turns and I don't like it. Rest, I haven't used it yet, but I'm sure there will be a purpose someday, but not today. And Rock Slide, well, not Friday, I should say. I'm playing through and it's airing on Friday. And Rock Slide is the other one that's actually very good because it's 75 base power, but with our stab, it comes out to just under 120, but that's way more powerful than Thunderbolt, and it coincides very well with our attack stat. This is a physical damaging move, whereas Thunderbolt is a special damaging move. And it's 90% accurate, so it does have the propensity to miss, but not very often. And Substitute and Strength are also moves we can use, but we've never used them before. So this is Rhyhorn. So if we played through the game with Rhyhorn, we'd have Rhyhorn's level up moveset, and then we'd have all these moves here, which these moves aren't horrible. This wouldn't be the worst moveset to have. However, in my playthroughs, we do evolve the Pokemon into Rhyhorn, and Rhyhorn has slight upgrades to its TM moveset. First off, just because of the Pokemon's physiology, and what do I mean by that? Look at Rhyhorn. He's on all 4s, and Rhydon is standing. So the fact that he is standing upright, it changes perplexity of what he can do. So for example, we're not going to use these moves, but I just want to go over this. Mega Punch and Mega Kick are 2 moves we can learn because this Pokemon is standing upright. Okay? What we can also use because he's standing upright is fighting moves. And I accidentally cut off Seismic Toss, so don't hate me on that. But Substitute, Counter, and Seismic Toss are also available to use because this Pokemon is standing upright. Okay? Some couple other moves that are added, which I don't know why this Pokemon can use these moves, but it can, and I'm not going to complain because it's going to make my run a little easier. Bubble Beam, Water Gun, and Surf are all 3 moves. They're water type. I don't know how a Rock Rhinoceros can surf. Seems like it would sink pretty quick, but it can surf. It can learn Surf and use Surf. So, not going to complain. It's going to give me options, basically. As long as we have, the better options you have as a trainer, the more flexibility you have, the better. We're not going to use any 3 of these moves, though. Because Surf, although it's 95% accurate, 95 power and 100% accurate, once you teach it, you can't unteach it. Okay? And that limits your versatility in your moves because you're locked in. However, Ice Beam and Blizzard will definitely come in handy because we do come across Dragon types. There's some Flying types. There's also Grass type we got to contend with. Hyper Beam and Payday are kind of pointless. There's no point in them for this run. There's other runs where Hyper Beam will be 100% effective. But in this run, it's not going to be. We have better attacks. We have better options, more reliable options, less time-consuming options. So all the other moves are the same. You still have Dig, you still have Earthquake, you still have Rock Slide. You just get some versatility when it comes to like Ice Beam, Blizzard, and such. So I don't know why they can learn that. And like I said, I don't know why. And some of these moves don't make sense, but I'm not going to complain. So let's move on to the rules of this playthrough. We can only use Rhyhorn or Rhydon in battle. We can use other Pokemon for HMs and to catch Pokemon from HMs only. Also, a running clock with 3 exceptions. 1 is Lieutenant Surge's Gym. You all know why. 2 is there's certain points in the game where we get over encumbered with stuff, so we want to pause the timer, sell some stuff, buy some stuff, run some errands, and we'll start the timer up once we start, picking back up the plot and playthrough of the game. We also can pause the timer. We're not going to do this in this playthrough, but we can pause the timer and sell some coins and buy some stuff in the Rocket Game corner, like a move. Usually it's a Hyper Beam, but in this playthrough we're not going to need that. There are no glitches or exploits allowed other than the Pokédoll, or I'm sorry, the Missingo. Those are the 2 that we can't use, Missingo and Pokédoll. The badge boost glitch is the only one we can use. It's a mechanic in the game that I can't help. If someone leers me, it's going to do the badge boost. So that's why it's allowed. It's a mechanic in the game. Even though it's a broken mechanic, it's a mechanic nonetheless. And no items in battle. Only thing I've switched around on one item, that's called an Ether. And that ups our power points for a move. It doesn't like boost our health or nothing like that. It's just to counter the fact that sometimes I'm negligent and I forget to check my power points before going to battle. And while you're here, please hit like, subscribe button, comment down below. All those things really help the channel out. I really appreciate it. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram, JD's Nerdverse and JD's _nerd_verse. So let's go back to the first slide and let's go over the prediction for this Pokemon. Well, let me just tell you this. There's going to be some walls this Pokemon has. Brock isn't really a wall. It's just that how high level do we need to be to get by it. We only have Horn Attack, and he is Rock type, so he's going to be resistant to my Horn Attack. However, our attack is more powerful than his. He only has Tackle, so we're going to be just as resistant to him as he is to us. But the question is, what level do we have to get by him? Because he does have Bide, and Bide will do back double the damage we do. So that's kind of the question. So I think level 15 or 16 would probably do the trick, but we'll see. But it's not a big wall. It's just like, at what level does it take? So the second wall you're going to come across is Misty. Misty is water type. She'll use a water move every time. You'll have like a very rare opportunity where she'll go for X defend. So that's possible. But we're not going to outspeed her. We're going to have to be above level 30 just to even get close to outspeeding her first Pokemon, much less getting by Starmie. So yeah, it's going to be tough. So we're going to have to fight a couple extra trainers, and the problem is, like, a lot of the extra trainers are on the SSN, they're all water type. So that's going to be a wall. We'll get through it regardless. Whether we have to grind to like a higher level than that or not is the question. There's not really any other walls after that until you get to like your 7th rival fight right before Victory Road, where you're not going to outspeed a bunch of his Pokemon like Gyarados and Venusaur without Mimic. And then the Elite Four, you have Lorelei, you have Lance's Gyarados, and you have your champion fight. So there's some walls there. There's definitely some things that they overcome in this playthrough. So, but nonetheless, I do think this will be a slightly faster. It'll be faster than a lot of people anticipate. I think with this done in about an hour and 55 minutes, hour to 2 hours. That's a very optimistic prediction. So what I really think, I think the last ground type we played through was Onyx. And it took him almost 3 hours, and we had to get to like level 85 to do it. Now, this is different. We have water type, we have better speed, we have better stats across the board, let's just say that. We also have ice moves, we have a bunch of moves that we can use to mitigate these things. Attack stat is definitely much higher than what, I think Onyx's attack stat is actually lower than Caterpie. It's actually pretty pathetic. Our attack stat's very high. Our defense Onyx's defense is just as high as ours. Speed, Onyx had the speed, but did not have the ability to hit hard. So you can be as fast as you want, but if you can't knock out the opposition, it kind of is pointless. And when the opposition only needs one hit to knock out you, yeah. So I think this will be actually a pretty solid run. I think it'll be an hour and 55 minutes to 2 hours. That's, like I said, that's a very optimistic, and I'm pretty optimistic about this Pokemon. I think there's some things I can do. It definitely has a lot of tools. When you have options, when you have like a versatile moveset, you have options. If you had a limited moveset, you don't. You basically can stick to one strategy, which is good. But with a versatile moveset, we can move things around as we see fit to whatever situation, whatever challenge comes up against us. So that's my video. Let me the playthrough comes out on Friday, and let me just go over the schedule. So prediction on Monday, as usual. Lord of the Rings on Tuesday. There is either a replay or some kind of ranking video, or even a challenge video will come out on Wednesdays. Thursday, I have a game I'm playing called Shield Wall. We'll see how long that lasts. It might not last very long because the missions are pretty quick, and there's not as many missions as like other games. And then Friday, obviously, is the playthrough of whatever the prediction video is I do on Monday. So you'll see this playthrough on Friday. And that's my video. Thank you for watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys on Friday.